And today we're just going to talk about the section of Hall of Birds with the turkey vulture as the picture in The Someday Birds by Sally J. Plough. So, judging from the turkey vulture, what kinds of animals, what kind of bird do you think that they're probably going to see? A turkey vulture. And why do you think that's really special? Think about it. It's because I know that the turkey vulture was on the list. See? The Someday Birds list, there was the bald eagle, check. The great horned owl, check. Trumpeter swan, half check. Sandhill crane, not yet. Turkey vulture, it's about to get checked, right? Probably. And then of course there is the bonus birds, but I'm not gonna say the bonus birds, okay? Now, let's dive right in. And I have a question. Do you think that turkey vultures, like, what's the first word that you think of when you think of a turkey vulture? For some reason, I always think of dirty, but I'm a big nature guy, and I know that turkey vultures are actually helping the world by eating up all the rotten and dead stuff. And then after that, they're perfectly clean. So really, yeah. I mean, like, it's not like they get sick either, because they have this sort of like acid or something in their digestion that helps all the rotten stuff and all that stuff go away. So actually, turkey vultures are way cooler than the regular bird. So I think that turkey vultures are really cool and awesome. Okay, chapter 31 is called The Hall of Birds at the Field Museum is a hall for the ages. Every human should visit it at least once to garner a sense of the diversity in the natural world of live and let live, and of what we'll let die. Tiberius Shaw, PhD. Well, the Hall of Birds was right here, and now it seems that the Hall of Birds is at the Field Museum. And if we think about it, and then after that, think about the Field Museum. Have you actually even heard it before? Where have you heard it? Think about it. I'm just going to check if I'm right. Yep, I was right. Where did you hear and read about the Field Museum? When Ludmila was saying that her friend worked at the Field Museum when they were still planning, she said that, and they're now actually going there. How do you think that Charlie's gonna respond to this? I mean, he's a big bird fan, and if Tiberius Shaw loves this, how do you think that Charlie's gonna love it? He's probably gonna faint seeing it. I really think that he's gonna love it. Do you think that that Charlie should spend all his time at the bird place, or do you think that he should spend time everywhere? Well, if he likes birds, then he should just stay in the bird's place. So I would actually like to see the mummies too. I would like to see everything, really. I think that they're all cool. Why do you think that Joel wants to look different from Jake? Because they're sort of similar, so people might mistake them for somebody else, and it's like some people don't like it. They're both different people, so why? But at the same time, in a way, like, some people refer them to the twins, right? it's like they're both the same person. So it would make sense if Joel wanted to look different than Jake. Now, do you think that the Hall of Birds is so exciting that even though Charlie hasn't even gotten there, he's still singing Hall of Birds, Hall of Birds, Hall of Birds, Hall of Birds? I mean, he must be really excited about it. How excited are you? Like, can you compare your excitement to Charlie's, like, once in your lifetime? When we were going to, I once went down I once was on a submarine ride, and I went down, and I was at Hawaii then, and that was so cool, and now I wish I could do that again, but mostly I want to go snorkeling again, so that was when I was really excited for stuff. And have you ever been so excited to see somebody, like, you shriek and it's like, that's you! Have you ever been like that before? I've never shrieked before, but I have gasped, laughed, and smiled a lot. So, but still, I've never actually shrieked. But I still think that shrieking is a very, very strong way to communicate your feelings. So if you want to shriek, you can shriek as much as you want. Now, do you think that that Charlie, when he goes into the Field Museum, he's gonna really like the bird section, right? But I have a question. If he likes the bird section so much and other people like that section and this section, in general, if you had to describe a museum, like let's say that you had to compare it to somewhere else, then what would you compare it to? Like I've heard somebody compare a museum to a big 3D model of a book before. So something like that. I would call it a big, huge building of amazement. Just like a theme park for the mind. That's what I came up with. What would you come up with? So it doesn't have to be catchy or anything, but try to think of something. Okay. And were you surprised that the bird collection has more than 500,000 specimens? Or do you just not believe it? I believe it all right, but if there's that many specimens, I have to say, I wouldn't be able to finish the Field Museum in one day. I mean, all that, no way, I couldn't. Have you ever watched any of the Jurassic Park movies? And if so, did you think that all the T-Rexes were huge, but then when you actually see a T-Rex, it isn't that huge? Have you ever had that before, that feeling? Not much, but I guess so, but not much. Mostly, I just think it's so huge and so amazing, and I don't really think of the Jurassic Park movies. Besides, I've never actually watched a Jurassic Park movie in my life, though I have watched Star Wars movies. Then, Charlie goes into the bird hall, right? And there's like so many birds, all stuffed, but like they're showing the environment and like where they live. And Charlie actually thinks, who could possibly care about mummies? If you had seen that, would you have been that interested? Well, yeah, I would have been interested, but not as interested as Charlie. No offense, but to Charlie, but I would be more interested in the mummies. So, I mean, I would still stop at the bird place, but not that much compared to the mummies. So, do you think that Charlie, in his experience at the Field Museum, how do you think that it's gonna change him? I think it's gonna change him so that he sort of thinks everything is possible, right? It's like before he was like sort of more negative minded to the whole trip. Now that he's actually seeing some of the most amazing things, he's like, wow, stuff like this the trip can be possibly good. It possibly could be good, right? He's thinking all those things. And hopefully that turns out to be true for him. That he's gonna really like the rest of the trip. Then, do you think that all the science that she's talking about, that Helen is talking about, did you even make sense of it? Oh yeah, because like we could strengthen the genetic code of modern birds by using bits of extinct code. That would be really cool. Though I don't think that they've done it yet. And they're actually trying to make a mammoth, recreate the mammoth. But of course, there's a lot of speculation and thought about that. So it hasn't happened yet. And then they even showed Charlie the passenger pigeon. What did you think? I thought that was so cool. But and if those passenger pigeons, like, if Charlie had seen one, like, it's something that people haven't been able to do lots of people haven't been able to see for over 100 years. So Charlie is really, really, really lucky. Now, really, 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 really cool thing is that even though Charlie was like, we can't find a passenger pigeon, that's impossible. Now, he actually can check off the passenger pigeon. What did you think? Like, did you think that Charlie was actually gonna do that? No way. So I was like, man, Charlie, you're getting everything. He had this stroke of luck finding Helen, or maybe Helen finding him. But anyway, I think that he's a pretty cool guy. I mean, like, if he found that too. And if you had been Charlie, do you think that you would have smacked yourself in the head when you realized that maybe they were Carolina parakeets? Yeah, because Carolina parakeets, I mean, I wouldn't expect to go to other museums and for other people to let me into private study labs and stuff. So that was probably the only chance to see the Carolina parakeets. But still, even though Charlie didn't see a Carolina parakeet, the fact that he actually checked off the passenger pigeon, and he also got 3 bonus birds, got 1 half check, and 2 other extra checks, and the sandhill and turkey vulture crane and the turkey vulture are right now coming up. That's a pretty good track record. The only thing that he needs is maybe the emu or the Carolina parakeet, and I think that the emu. I think that he's gonna get the emu in the Hall of Birds, because like, there's so many birds, probably some from Australia, right? And now he can check off the emu. I thought that was so impressive. I mean, I wouldn't be able to check off all those, but I still think I would be able to check off a few of them, but still, all of them. Charlie's dad is going to be so surprised when he finds out that even the emu is crossed off. Now only 3 birds to go. The Carolina parakeet, the sandhill crane, and the turkey vulture. And have you ever been really mad at yourself for being shy and scared so shy and scared that you can't ask the question that you wanted to ask? Yeah, I've had that moments before, though not a lot, but yeah, at times I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have been that shy and scared. I should have just asked a question. So sometimes that happens. And now they go to the restroom. And what do they find? A big sign that says America's Best Restroom Award 2011. I think that this book was published, I don't know, but oh yeah, it was 2017. Cool. A 2011 the America's Best Restroom Award. I would definitely want to go there. That would be so fun. Because I like clean restrooms. The only time the only times I've been to a porta potty is when I've been so desperate I think I'm gonna die. That's the only times I've ever used a porta potty, or I make a desperate run towards the nearest bathroom. And still, they're really not sanitary. So, then they go to Mariana's house. What did you think about Mariana's house? I mean, like, did you think it was a good house or a bad house? And I have a question. Do you think that you like your house better than Mariana's house? I mean, of course, you might like your house better, but still, like the, you know, like the dirtiness and everything like that, and everything. Do you think that your house or Mariana's house is better? Now, I wanted to talk about what Davis was saying, like about the soap rinse. I mean, if you had been Charlie, what would you have said to Davis? I wouldn't have said anything, but I would have given her a piece of my mind once they were back on the road. But I wouldn't say anything to her in front of Mariana. And I have a question. Do you think that Charlie should keep on watching hands like this? Or do you think he should just stop? And why do you think that he does that anyway? Like, there's no real reason. I mean, yeah, maybe it sort of calms him down, but there's no like real big reason to think about why he might be doing this too. And so, Davis is saying something about OCD. What does OCD stand for? Okay, so OCD. I'm pretty sure I've read it somewhere, but now I've just totally forgotten. But I think that I'm gonna find it out if it's the last thing I'm gonna do. Which really is going to take a long time. Now, do you think that that fear, how do you think that you can get over fear? Or do you think that there's no way to get over fear? Now, of course, you can always feel afraid, but I think that you should always try something new. Something that you're afraid of, you can try. I mean, like, if it's like climbing up Half Dome, then I understand why you would be afraid, and that would be risking your life. People have died climbing up. But something else like just soap rinse, and I guess cars, but really, lots of people, my mom and my dad and my whole family, except for us kids, drive cars, and none of them have actually been killed before by car crashes. So I think that really, like those kinds of things, you should try them out because you're probably not gonna die. But Half Dome, yeah. I mean, yeah, people do die from car crashes, but dying from Half Dome, I don't know. I don't know how rare dying from Half Dome is, but I think that you all get the reason, the meaning, the point that I'm trying to get to, okay? Now, do you think that Charlie can force himself to go all the way only to 11 and then 10 and then 9 and then 8? What do you think? And then Charlie says that it's sort of like counting back to when you were little and that's not progressing. But do you think that it's progressing? Yeah. Now, for dinner, Charlie doesn't eat the spicy lamb stew over the rice. What did you think about that? And do you think that's sort of related to his not wanting to travel and all that? Like, why does he not want to travel? Why doesn't he doesn't want to try this? He doesn't want difference in his life. That's the problem about him. Well, it's not a big problem, but he doesn't like difference in his life. He doesn't like to change his hand washing routine. He just doesn't like to change all those stuff. Yeah, he just doesn't like to change, even though change is something that he needs to get better. I mean, spicy lamb, first of all, spicy, I love spicy food. It's one of the best types of food. And like lamb, I've never actually tasted lamb. Wait. I haven't tasted lamb, but I have eaten goat meat before, and I actually did like goat meat. So in a way, if goat meat, I loved goat meat, then I'm pretty sure that lamb would be pretty cool, and it will be really, really good. So, do you really think that Charlie was a little dumb to not eat? Let's say we're not accusing him, but really, do you think he was a little dumb not to do it? I mean, even if he's not like totally dumb, not to really insult him, but if you just had to think about it in your mind, do you think that it would be dumb to not try it? I mean, if he didn't really want to try it, then it's okay, but still, he should try new stuff. Or somebody who doesn't embrace new stuff, that's totally understandable. But somebody who doesn't embrace new things so much that he doesn't even, he's so hard like this, he should try to soften a little. And I think that if you just like that, that's a little dumb. So you should just try to be flexible. So Charlie begins to read the DNA research brochure, right? And what did you even understand that too? Or were you like, huge question mark above my head, no understanding? I understood. I know what genome is, the code of life, the range of genes, blah, 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 4 different molecular building blocks, A, C, G, and T. And have you ever thought about those things making up as people Legos? I thought of them more as people blocks, but Legos, they both work. And were you surprised when at the list of contributors, Charlie saw Tiberius Shaw, PhD? Or when you just started to read about the contributing research scientists, you just knew that Tiberius Shaw was going to be there. I just knew that Tiberius Shaw when I read, but it's a list of contributing research scientists. When I read that, I was like, I know what's going to happen. Tiberius Shaw is going to be there. And I was right. Tiberius Shaw was. Now, do you think that Mariana and Ludmila, they were making coffee and all that, right? But they were also talking. Do you think that was why Davis was listening and being really silent? Yeah. And now we sort of begin to learn, right? Ludmila was angry at Amar, but do you think that he should have she should have been angry? Well, now I'm pretty sure she regrets it, but still, she should have been angry, and maybe if she wanted to, she could be angry, but it was probably the last time she would see him, and she was angry, and now he's gone, so she can't really ask for forgiveness now, right? So in a way, that's ruined. But which side would you be on? Do you think that Mars should have gone to university and the scholarship? Well, really, I think that he should have gone to university and had a scholarship. And then if he wanted to, he could go fighting. But university, in my opinion, is really important. And I think that everybody should try to go to university. I'm not saying that university makes somebody. No. School, though, is important. It doesn't make somebody. But university is sort of I don't know. You if you want university, that's awesome. And even if you don't do university, that you're still cool, like Amar, right? And then we learned that Charlie's and Davis's and the twins' father, Robert, and it was Amar sort of thought of him as a father. Did you ever think about that? And how weird do you think that it will be for somebody, a grown man, to be saying that your father was like a father to him? Do you think that would have been strange? A little strange, but at the same time, I feel good that at least somebody appreciated my father, and also that somebody was happy because of my father. Even though Amar did die in an explosion. Still. And then Lumila says something about surgery, right? Do you think that all of the information at once is good or not? Now, do you think that that Davis, what do you think she's gonna show on the computer? I think I know. The flash drive, right? She's finally gonna show Lumila some information, but do you think that information really is going to show anything? But do you think that information is gonna make Lumila happy or just sadder? Sadder probably isn't a word, just worse. I think that it's gonna make her happy, but at the same time, pretty sad. Now, Davis says, and I think that somewhere in it all, there's an interview with your brother, Amar. When she said that, how did you feel and how do you think that Lumila felt? Lumila felt like she was probably flying, right? And I was so happy for Lumila and finally that Davis trusted Lumila. I like that so much.